Think you know who built the mighty pyramids of Egypt? Think again. For centuries we've been fed stories, wild theories whispered in the shadows of these ancient giants, aliens, lost super civilizations, or worst of all, armies of whipped slaves dying under the desert sun. It's time to shatter those myths. Because the truth, uncovered by decades of meticulous archaeology, is far more fascinating, far more human, and honestly, way more impressive than any sci-fi fantasy. Stick around. What we found buried in the sand next to these monuments, the bones, the bread, the beer, it paints a picture you won't believe, and it changes everything we thought we knew about ancient Egypt. This isn't just history. This is the shocking truth about the pyramid builders. Let's be honest, the idea of thousands of slaves hauling 2.5-ton blocks under the lash, it's dramatic. It fits a certain narrative. Hollywood loves it. But what if I told you there's zero archaeological evidence for it? Zip, nada, not a single whip mark on a builder's skeleton, not a single inscription glorifying the pharaoh for enslaving his own people to build his tomb. Doesn't that seem odd? And aliens? Advanced tech? The evidence points to something much simpler, yet profoundly more sophisticated. Human ingenuity, organization, and sheer willpower on a scale that still blows our minds. But who were these people? How did they live? How did they pull off this impossible feat 4,500 years ago? The answer didn't come from decoding alien messages or finding hidden Atlantean blueprints. It came from the dirt, from painstaking excavations right at the foot of the pyramids themselves. Archaeologists like Lehner and Zahi Hawass didn't look up at the impossible monuments. They looked down, and what they found was revolutionary: an entire lost city. Not a slave camp, a purpose-built, thriving community. This wasn't some shantytown. This was Pyramid City homes, bakeries churning out thousands of loaves daily, breweries producing gallons of beer, hospitals, workshops, administrative buildings, even evidence of a harbor bringing supplies directly from the Nile. This was the home of the workforce, and the people living there, they weren't slaves. So, who built the pyramids? Well, they were Egyptians. Ordinary citizens, but organized with extraordinary efficiency. You can think of them as a national project workforce. Now, crucially, the builders themselves were buried in tombs close to the pharaohs they served. Their tombs were simple but dignified. Slaves were never granted such an honor. Their proximity alone, honestly, screams status. Forensic analysis of skeletons found in the worker cemetery reveals signs of healed injuries, medical care, even successful surgeries, and surprisingly, pretty robust health for the time. These weren't broken people worked to death. They had access to healthcare and lived relatively long lives. Sure, there's evidence of arthritis and wear. Absolutely, it was hard work, but not evidence of slavery or mass death. The scale of this operation is just mind-boggling. We're talking industrial-level production. Workers were paid, essentially, in rations, bread, beer, fish, and other staples. Think of it as a massive state-run project with salaries paid in kind. Beer wasn't just a drink, it was nutritious, safe hydration, and part of their wages. And finding giant vats and fish bones by the ton proves they were fed well. This wasn't chaos, it was a masterpiece of logistics. Work was likely seasonal, tied to the Nile's flooding when farming was impossible. Crews were organized into teams with names like the Friends of Khufu or the Drunkards of Menkaura. Seriously. These names were found inscribed on stones within the pyramids themselves. These weren't the names of slave gangs. Hauling stones was just one job. Stonemasons, quarrymen, engineers, architects, boat builders, carpenters, bakers, brewers, scribes, priests, administrators. It took a vast array of skilled and semi-skilled labor. This was a complex society operating at peak efficiency. Okay, so how did they move the blocks? Mainly ramps. Massive, cleverly designed ramps built from mud, brick and rubble, spiraling or running straight up the sides as the pyramid grew. Levers, sledges lubricated with water, rollers. It was brute force applied with sophisticated engineering knowledge and meticulous planning. No magic, no anti-gravity, just brilliant, coordinated human effort. The quarries were close by, especially for the core limestone. The fine casing stones came from farther away via the Nile. So why is this shocking? Because it shatters the simplistic, often grim narrative. The pyramids weren't built on the backs of suffering, but on the foundation of a highly organized, capable society. It shows us the power of communal effort in ancient Egypt. People weren't dragged there. They were likely proud to contribute to a national monument that connected the pharaoh, a god-king, to the heavens, ensuring the stability of Egypt itself. Finding the name Mera, or the Green Crew, carved into a block deep inside the Great Pyramid, that's the real shocker. These weren't anonymous drones. They were individuals. They left their mark. They were fed, housed, medically cared for, and buried with respect near the monument they helped create. The pyramids are a testament to what ordinary humans, brilliantly organized and motivated, can achieve. So, the next time someone says aliens built the pyramids or it was all slave labor, you know the truth. It was the ingenuity, sweat, and organization of the ancient Egyptians themselves. It makes their achievement even more remarkable, doesn't it? What do you think? Was this truth shocking to you? Did you believe the slave myth? Smash that like button if you learned something new today. It really helps the channel. What other ancient mysteries should we debunk? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into history's biggest secrets. The past is full of surprises, and we're here to uncover them. Thanks for watching, and remember, always dig deeper for the truth. See you next time.